You were quick joining here. This is a studio. Um, it's a professional podcasting studio we purchased yesterday. So this is very nice, and it's very nice to view. And it is used AI to refine the recording very nicely and broadcast it. So we are testing it. Let's see if everyone can join in 2 minutes. I'll just say the screen. We'll do little kirtan, and then we'll start from there. Okay. How are you doing, Ankita Matsi?
Good, good.
Okay, perfect. How was the holiday? Like a lot of festival, right?
Yeah, 5-day festival. It was nice.
Yeah, kind of still. Karthik is pretty busy. Okay, I'm gonna share this.
Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Givaradhari
Jai
Gopi Jana Vallabha Givaradhari
Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Givaradhari
Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha
Giridhari
Yashodanandana Bhajana Narayana
Yashodanandana Braj Janaranjana
Yashodanandana Bhajana Narayana
Yashodanandana Braj Janaranjana
Janasira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Janasira Vanachari
Tira Vanachari
Jai
Radha
Radha
Madhava
Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Givaradhari
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridhari
Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Givaradhari
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridhari
Yashodanandana Bhajana Narayana
Yashodanandana Braj Janaranjana
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada
Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada.
Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada.
Hari Bol,
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai, Hari Bol, Nitai Bol,
Hari Bol Hari
Nitai Bol, Hari
Hari Bol,
Bol,
Hari Bol,
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, everyone. So let's get started. Welcome again, and I'm sorry I had to reschedule it for today because we had a guest, very special guest. His Holiness Romapad Swami Maharaj. He's Prabhupada disciple, and he was here in Boston. So we were like, we had a program in Northwestern University, in Howard University here, Howard Medical School. So we had a program like 125 students came. So it was a big program. So I had to go to drive him back to the home. So that was sudden seva. But anyways, how is everyone doing? Good.
All good, all good.
And how was the Diwali?
Diwali was good as well as tiring.
Tiring, yeah. So many things, right? Okay. So without further delay, I'll get started. And goal is to finish till 30. No, not 30, more than 30. So we have to finish till 38, I think. Let's see.
27 to 37.
Yeah, 30. So I'm gonna share my screen. Everyone can mute. I'll read first. For when I say Mangalacharan, you can repeat after me and Sloka, but then mute it for best audio experience, because this is a new system, not Zoom. How easy it was to get onto this? Like, it was easy, just log in to join it.
No, I had to install the app and then it could work.
Okay, so now next time you don't have to do it. You can I can schedule it so the same link will remain every week.
No, but
And
this is
is
lagging. This is lagging.
lagging. The voice is not clear.
Now it is clear, but in between it was lagging.
Okay.
When the music was on, it was lagging.
Oh yeah,
I
music
was clear
music is YouTube, so you'll have that problem.
that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get started. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. All right, so I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, can you see this? 28, right? Okay. This is trouble. Just a minute. I have to share everything. Entire screen. Crazy. Okay. Okay. So we'll start from here. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, 28. Avyaktyadini bhutani. I cannot hear you, so I don't know if you can hear me clear.
No, clear.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, so while we say sloka, you can just unmute everyone and Avyaktyadini bhutani
Kadini bhutani
vyakta madhyani bharata
vyakta madhyani bharata
avyakta nidhananyeva
avyaktya nidhanani vya
tatra ka parivedana.
tatra ka parivedana.
So translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Shri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. All created beings are unmanifested in their beginning and manifest in their interim state and unmanifested again when annihilated. So, what need is there for lamentation? Purport. According accepting that there are two classes of philosophers, one believe in existence of soul, another not believing in existence of soul. There is no cause for lamentation in either case. Non-believers in existence of soul are called atheists by the follower of Vedic wisdom. Yet, even if, for argument's sake, we accept this atheistic theory, there is still no cause for lamentation. Apart from the separate existence of soul, the material elements remain unmanifested before creation. From the subtle state of non-manifestation comes manifestation, and just from the ether, air is generated. From air, fire is generated. From fire, water is generated, and from water, earth becomes manifested. From the earth, many varieties of manifestation takes place. Take, for example, a big skyscraper manifested from the earth. When it is dismantled, the manifestation becomes again unmanifested and remains as the atom in the ultimate stage. The law of conservation of energy remains, but in course of time, things are manifested and unmanifested. That is the difference. Then, what cause is there for lamentation, either in the stage of manifestation or in unmanifestation? Somehow or other, even in unmanifested stage, things are not lost. Both at the beginning and at the end, all elements remain unmanifested, and only in the middle they are manifested. And this does not make any real difference. And if we accept the Vedic conclusion, as stated in Bhagavad Gita, that these material bodies are perishable in due course of time, antavat ime deha, but the soul is eternal, nitya sokta sarirana, then we must remember always that body is like a dress. Therefore, why lament the changing of a dress? The material body has no factual existence in relation to the eternal soul. It is something like a dream. In a dream, we may think flying in the sky or sitting on a chariot as a king. But when we wake up, we can see that we are neither in the sky nor seated on the chariot. The Vedic wisdom encourages self realization on the basis of non existence of material body. Therefore, in either case, whether one believes in existence of soul or one does not believe in existence of soul, there is no cause for lamentation for the loss of the body. Hare Krishna. So, very interesting thing, right? I would request everyone to be at least, if possible, you can be a camera because it's a 40-minute discussion. It's nice. Hare Krishna Madhu. Yeah, Sarvesh Prabhu, give your darshan. if possible, if you're not traveling. All right. So this is interesting, right? Scientifically, we know that going back one step back, if you go, there are two class of people in the world. You can classify the whole world into two class. There are believers in God, and there are non-believers in God. What is third class? There is third class. Before your clue, what is third class? Don't think hard. They are nearby you. Sometimes they believe, sometimes they don't believe. Sometimes they maybe God. Sometimes when they have a problem, then God doesn't exist. When they are happy, then opposite. Sometimes when people believe so much in God, but then when the life is hit, they're like, oh, there is no God. He's not helping me. But some people they go and beg to God when they are stressed. But when they are happy, oh, I'm enjoying my result. I did it. I should enjoy it. So there are third class in Kali Yuga. Actually, former time there are only two classes. But in Kali Yuga there are three. Third one appeared. The pseudo, what do you call dual, like duality. They are like hypocritic. They will say, okay, there is God when He helps me, and God doesn't exist when He doesn't. Right? It's very business mindset. But anyways, in either case, if Arjuna was thinking there is no soul, and he was thinking of a body, he should not lament, because when a body dies, all the material ingredient goes into where they come from, right? Pancha Mahabhuta, it gets assimilated. There is no soul. Why you worry? Why? Because that body again will be created when a new mother, somehow the chemicals will come together, it will have a new body. So why you're lamenting for a bag of what do you call ashes? Ultimately, if there is an experiment done by a chemist scientist from, I think it's from UPenn, University of Pennsylvania. I have the, if you can search it. Actually, you can search on internet. So what he did, he took the ash from a 1% human body, and then he tried to analyze what is just after you burn the body. Okay, so he got few grams of ashes. You just get little ashes. If you don't have a wood during burning, then body actually doesn't have much. Our body is nothing much, not more than half gram of, if you just half gram of ashes. That's what we are right now. But you see me 80 kg, 70 kg, right? Like, how? Because a lot of water, a lot of air, a lot of, fire, ether, acids, it will get evaporated, So he did that. Interestingly, you would be surprised. I think I have a slide. Let me pull out that for you. I think the total cost of our body is around 100 rupees. Can you believe it? 100 rupees. So is we are worth that chemical of 100 rupees or something? Do you think so? Like if you analyze the whole body, the constituents, and then you will come up with a, okay, my cost is 120. Oh, I'm going to share this for you a minute. Very interesting. Actually, I'm not going to slide. Otherwise, slides are amazing. If I could share the slides with you. A window. Okay, here you go. Here you go. Okay, can you see this? So this is Professor Harry Monson, a professor of anatomy in Illinois College of Medicine. And he analyzed a 60-pound person. There are about 5 pounds of calcium because of bones, 1.5 pound of phosphate, 9 pound of potassium, 6 pound of this, you have all that. So, and this is how the beauty looks, right? After we die. So there was something looking beautiful, but after death, it's not, right? So the cost of all this, if you see, is only 100, rupees. Right? So this is what we are. Do you think this is what we are? Can any sane man say that, okay, my cost is 100 rupees, right? So there is something which we may accept, may not accept. The point is, why to lament for body, right? Because you can purchase another chemical and, be happy. But that's not true. We know that there is beyond body. There is consciousness. Actually, the consciousness makes us what we are right now. you know. Otherwise, there is nothing in this body, 100 rupees, have few grams. So Krishna is saying to Arjuna, why you worry, Arjuna? Because things get manifested from unmanifested stage, right? Like a baby, when the baby is, first time father mother have relation, and then what happens? The sperm and ova comes together. It's like a pea, very small, zygote, whatever it form, the ova, and then it grows. How it grows? It takes minerals from the body of the mother daily, and in 9 months you have a big baby, like 3 kg baby born, right? But it began with very microscopic thing, right? Very small microscopic so all the constituents to make from 1 gram to 3000 gram was supplied by the body of the mother. And how did the mother's body get the food, all ingredients, like all the chemicals? By food she ate, right? How, where the food came from? Earth. All the food is produced from earth. It's very simple. There is nothing, science. It's very common sense, right? And where the earth get, food grains and all, there was a seed. The rain came. The earth supplied the mineral. The foods were grains were produced. Mother ate. Mother supplied in blood. From blood went to womb. Womb, the tissue grow. Now how does that tissue grow? We don't know much. Actually, embryologists also don't understand. Otherwise, you can start creating babies in your test tubes. So far, not successful. They had a big story back then. Now, IVF and all, it's not the people who've gone through, you ask them, it's frustrating. It's not every time successful. And the babies born out of that is have a genetic problem, like the developmental defects, because it's not natural, right? So, so in summary, that's the kind of Bhagavad Gita talking about. To Krishna is saying to Arjuna, don't worry. In either case, you should not be lamenting, right? Because if you believe there is soul, then no worry, body don't care. If you think there is no soul, then it's just body. Why do worry, right? So let's go to the next sloka. Who wants to read this one? I can help you with Sanskrit if you need help. Any volunteers for this?
I will read.
Yes, Manthji, please.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
अस्कार्यावत्त पश्याति केचित् इनाम् अस्कार्यवद् वदाति तथयव्या चनयः अस्कार्यवच्च चैमन् अन्यः स्नोति श्रुभ्यभि इनाम वेद न कैव कश्चित्. Some look at soul as amazing, some describe him as amazing, but some hear for him as amazing, while others, even after hearing about him, cannot understand him at all. Purport. Since Gito, Upanishad is largely based on the principle of Upanishads, it is surprising to also find that passage in the Katha Upanishad. Sarvana yapi bahubhir bahubhir yo na labhyah. Sarvanto pi bahanvo
I can
yam.
help you, Mataji, to do it fast. For Sravanopi bahure yo na lavya Sravanto api bhavo yam na vidhuyo Asharyo vapta kushalo asya labdha Asharyo asya janata kaushala anusthita.
Thank you. The fact that the atomic soul is within the body of gigantic animal, in the body of a gigantic banana tree, and also in the microbic germs, millions and billions of which occupy only an inch of space. It is certainly very amazing. Men with a poor fund of knowledge and men who has no Ostray cannot understand the wonder of the individual atomic spark of the spirit, even though it is explained by the greatest authority of the knowledge, who imparted lessons even to Brahma, the first living being in the universe, owing to gross material conception of things. Most men at this age cannot imagine how such a small particle can become both so great or so small. So men look at the soul proper as one at the soul proper as wonderful either by constitution or by description. Illusion by the material energy, people are so engrossed in subject matter for the sense gratification that they have very little time to understand the question of self understanding, even though in the fact it is a fact that without this self understanding all the activity result in ultimate defect in the struggle for existence. Perhaps they have no idea that one must think of soul and thus make the solution of the material miseries. Solution to the material miseries. Some people who are inclined to hear about the soul may be attending lectures of good association, but sometimes, owing to their ignorance, they are misguided by the acceptance of the super soul and atomic soul as one without distinction of magnitude. It is very difficult to find a man who perfectly understands the position of the supersoul, the atomic soul, and their respective functions and relationship and all other major and minor details. And it is still more difficult to find a man who has actually diverted full benefits from knowledge of soul and who is able to describe the position of the soul in different aspects. But if somehow or the other one is able to understand the subject matter of the soul, then one's life is successful. The earliest process of understanding the subject matter of the self, however, is to accept the statement of Bhagavad Gita spoken by the greatest authority, Lord Krishna, without being deviated by other theories. But it also requires great deal of penance and sacrifice, either in this life or in the previous one. Before one is able to accept Krishna as Supreme Personality of the Godhead, Krishna can, however, be known as by the causeless mercy of pure devotee and no other way. By no other way. Hare Krishna. You're muted, Prabhuji.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Can you hear me now? Okay. I was saying this is very interesting sloka because it's saying some look on the soul as amazing, some describe him as an amazing, and some hear him as an amazing, while others, even after hearing about him, cannot understand him at all. Right? So you will find variety of people. There are some people, oh, says okay, there is soul, right? So they believe, okay, there is soul. But the next question, some describe. So some say, oh, there is soul, but they don't believe in. They describe themselves, but they don't believe in itself. It's like a professor who teaches mathematics but doesn't believe in mathematics, and actually that exists. There are scientists who do certain things, but they don't believe what they do. It is there. It's a huge level of hypocrisy. It's like this: somebody is talking, okay, be honest, but they themselves are not honest, which means they are teaching to become honest, but they are corrupt, and you will find very commonly. So the same way, some spiritual people talk about soul, but they don't, and then do all sort of nonsense. They don't apply in their life, right? So that's a category. Third category, you'll see, they will hear from someone who has known soul as amazing or realized it. They will hear it, but they don't take it. Okay, they'll hear it, don't take it. And then the fourth category of people is, even after hearing so much, they'll say, I don't understand. So Prabhupada is saying at the end, if you pay attention of that purport, purport, it is said it is very hard to find people who would be interested or who will have capacity to even listen and understand. You know why? Where is the proof? Do you know? Do you have any proof right now? Yeah, why it's rare to find people who are interested in this subject matter? You know, in our this session, we have around 60 people in the group, but only 5 people join on the call, right? So these 60 people desired to learn Bhagavad Gita, right? In the beginning, when they subscribed for it, they desired for it, but then the determination faded away, right? And now you people who are coming early morning is the most special because you are taking out time, and you may question yourself why I'm taking out time. You know, what did I do? What is special about me? So Prabhupada is saying in that last section, if you see last section of purport, but it is also so easiest process for understanding the subject matter of self. However, to accept the statement of Bhagavad Gita is spoken by greatest authority, Lord Krishna, without being deviated by other theories. So definitely you would had access to so many theories. You came to this class and learning from Srila Prabhupada about Bhagavad Gita as it is, right? So Prabhupada is saying here, but it also requires a great deal of penance and sacrifice, either in this life or in the previous one, before one is able to accept Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. Okay, so definitely in your this life or in your past life, you are sitting and spending your 1 hour today. You have done something which you don't know or you don't need to know, but that's where you're sitting. Other people, 55 people, not interested. You know, even I'll tell you, even if I tell them I'll pay you, I'll give you $10 every class, you please join, they will not come. I can give you, like, we can do the experiment. Like, you know, you tell them, we'll give you 100 rupees if you join for 1 hour. You have to sit on camera attentively and hear. They will not able to do it. They will say, take 100 from me, leave me alone. I don't want you. It is there because it is not by money, not by time. It is something spiritual. You can't understand all that. And they're not interested. So that's why many times you may know why people don't join, because of this. You know, they don't have piety. Therefore, their mind is disturbed. Their life is trouble and something they're going through. You know, they can't join. Anyways, so let's go to the next sloka. Other slokas are pretty gonna be smaller one. Okay, very small. So we'll quick do faster. Who wants to read next?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, one question please.
Yes.
This atomic soul and super soul, what is this difference?
Okay, so let me open a slide for you. What is atomic soul? What is super soul? I have a slide on that. It's a deep matter. It will come again. That's why I'm not going in detail.
At the end also I'm fine.
Okay. Let me see if I can pull out that slide for you, because there is whole presentation on that. Super soul, atomic soul. Okay. Okay, I'll give you a brief and then we'll touch again. Okay. So, in summary, you believe there is a soul in the body because there is consciousness. There is energy. Let's go back. There is energy. There is some sort of energy in our body, right? That energy, the spiritualist, the Vedic knowledge says it is soul, Atma. Okay, we have a name. Other people say energy, nature, so many names. We have a name, a specific name, soul. Now, what is the location of the soul? Krishna will tell in next chapter. The location of the soul is your heart. Okay, and medically it is known the heart is the source of energy. It pumps the blood. They think it's a pumping machine, but actually there is more than that. Because it's not a just pumping machine, right? There is a more than that which we don't understand fully. So, and then, so there is a location in the heart. Now, next to the heart, in the soul, there is a super soul. And in the Upanishad, the size of super soul is given size of your thumb. Okay, so size of your thumb is the size of the super soul in your body. Now you can ask a question: how can soul exist? You know, because if it can block my heart, it is a solid element. Like, what is the nature of it? It is spiritual. It is not made up of five mahabhutas, not air, ether, water, fire. It is spiritual spark, right? Um, so the soul and super soul exist in everyone's heart. Now, this would be amazing for you. Not just you and I, even in the body of a bacteria, the soul exists and the super soul exists. But the proportion, the size of the super soul is proportion to the bacteria's hand and whatever you call cilia or so many names, right? Like, but they have a hand. Okay, it's not that only we have a hand. Bacteria have a hand, fungus have a hand, microbes have a hand, right? So they have a thumb. We may not see it. Microscopically, electron microscope, you can see like parapodia and little fudgy things, right? They use to grab things with that, but it exists, right? It exists in every body, everything which moves. And now, next thing, next, this is going to be amazing. Atomic. It says atomic, right? So now you will think atom. Atom means a nucleus, positive and negative, right? And electrons. Even in the atom, then now you will be thinking also it is dead, because atom means you are going is like a stone, like it doesn't have activity. Actually, atom has activity. They vibrate. There is a vibration in the atom. Electrons vibrate in their path. If you're chemistry or physics student, you can go back basics, like electron vibrates. It is never stable. Okay, there is activity in the atom. In atom also, the soul exists and super soul exists. This is the Vedic knowledge from Bhagavad Gita and other Puranas. And now it is up to scientists to prove it. It's like a you given an information, now you prove it, how it is. We'll go detail later, but for now, is this much is okay, Mataji?
Okay.
Okay. So who wants to read this one? Next one here.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
Could you help
Madhuji.
in
Yes, please.
please help me in Sanskrit, and I can read this.
Okay. देहि देहि नित्यम् अधयोऽयम्
Devi
देहे
Nitya
सर्वस्य भारत
देहे सर्वस्य
Devi
भारत
Sarvasya Bharata
तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि
Tasmat
तस्मात्
Sarvani
सर्वाणि
Bhutani
भूतानि
न त्वं शोचितुम् अर्हसि.
न
Natvam
तं
Sochitam
शोचितुम्
Arhasi.
अर्हति
Yes, please
अर्हति
go ahead.
Oh,
Hare
yeah, oh, discernent Bharata, he who dwells in the body can never be slain. Therefore, you need not grave for any living being. Purport. The Lord now concluded the chapter of instructions on the immutable spirit soul. In describing the immortal soul in various ways, Lord Krishna established that the soul is immortal and the body is temporary. Therefore, Arjuna, as Kshatriya, should not obtain his duty out of fear that his grandfather and teacher Bhishma and Drona will die in the battle. On the authority of Krishna, uh, one has to believe that there is a soul difference from the material body, did not that there is no such thing as soul, or that living symptoms developed at a certain stage of material maturity resulting from the interaction of chemicals. Though the soul is immortal, violence is not encouraged. But at the time of war, it is not discouraged when there is a actual need for it. That need must be justified in terms of the sanction of the uh, is down san- sanction of the Prabhuji, uh, yeah, sanction of the Lord, and not capriciously.
Capriciously. Yes.
Capriciously.
So,
Yeah.
so somebody, based on this sloka, somebody can say, oh, Krishna is saying one who dwells in the body can never be slain. Therefore, you need not grieve for any living being. So, based on this sloka, some Mayavadi can say, oh, the animal killing is allowed. Krishna is saying, kill them. So, you're not killing the body, you can kill it. You can say that, oh, I'm going to kill it because I'm not going to, the person is not died, not killed by me. Nobody can kill the person. So I can kill the body, but then it is not allowed. Okay. So that's, let's go next to sloka. I'm gonna share now. Okay, who wants to read this one? Nagrani Mataji or Ankita Mataji, okay, are you there?
Prabhuji, school going time now, Prabhuji, very busy.
I know, but just take this is just if you can, but if you cannot, don't worry. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Prabhuji.
I can continue.
Okay, or I can do it. This one is the big one. For the sake of time, it's already. So I'll do this one, and then next one is going to be another. Okay, then everything else is very small, like very small purport. Okay, so I'm gonna do that one. Is that okay, everyone? Okay. Swadharma picha chevan chagvekshya na vikampate simarhasi dharma yudhyadhi yudhyascharyonyat kshatriyasya na vidyate. Considering your specific duty as a Kshatriya, you should know that there is no better engagement for you than fighting on religious principles. And so there is no need for hesitation. Purport. Out of the four order of social administration, the second order for the matter of good administration is called Kshatriya. Chat means herds. One who gives protection from the harm is called Kshatriya. Trayate, to give protection. The Kshatriyas are trained for killing in the forest. A Kshatriya would go into the forest and challenge a tiger face to face and fight with tiger with his sword. When the tiger is killed, it would be offered the royal order of cremation. This system has been followed even up to present day by Kshatriya king of Jaipur state. The Kshatriyas are especially trained for challenging and killing because religious violence is sometimes a necessary factor. Therefore, Kshatriyas are never meant for accepting directly the order of sannyas or renunciation. Non-violence in politics may be diplomacy, but it is never a factor or principle. It is in the religious law book, it is stated, Ave sumitho anyanyam jihmasto mahikichakchitaha युद्धमाना परम शक्त्या स्वर्गम अन्ते अपरम मुखा यज्ञेषु प्रशवो ब्राह्मण हन्यते सततम द्विजा संसाकृता किला मंत्रश्च ते अपि स्वर्गम अनुपमम्. In the battlefield, a king or kshatriya, while fighting another king envious of him, is eligible for achieving the heavenly planet after earth. As the Brahmana also attained the heavenly planet by sacrificing animal in sacrificial fire. Therefore, killing on the battlefield on religious principle and killing animal in sacrificial fire is not at all considered to be a factor act of violence because everyone is benefited by religious principle involved. The animal sacrificed gets a human life immediately without undergoing the gradual evolutionary process from one form to another. And the Kshatriya is killed in battlefield also attains the heavenly planet, as do humans who attain them by offering sacrifice. As do the Brahmana who attain them by offering sacrifice. There are two kinds of swadharmas as specific duties. As long as one is not liberated, one has to perform the duties of his particular body in accordance with religious principle in order to achieve liberation. When one is liberated, one's swadharma, a specific duty, becomes spiritual, and it is not the material bodily concept. In the bodily concept of life, there are specific duties for Brahmana and Kshatriya respectively, and as such, duties are unavoidable. Swadharma is ordained by the Lord, and this will be clarified in 4th chapter. On the bodily plane, Swadharma is called Varanashram Dharma, and the men's a stepping stone for spiritual understanding. Human civilization begins from the stage of varnashram dharma, or specific duties in terms of a specific modes of nature of the body obtained. Discharging one's specific duty in any field of action in accordance with the order of higher authorities serves to elevate one to a higher status of life. Hare Krishna. Okay, so quickly, this is sloka, what is said that essentially Krishna is saying, Arjuna, if you give up not fighting, just because your nature is Kshatriya nature, you are a fighter, you will fight. You can't become like a Brahmana or beggar because that's not your nature. That is why it's very important to find out our nature, what nature we have. And that's in your career areas, people are trying to find, so many tests. What kind of personality? Personality test it's called. So personality test, right? So the people do that, right? But earlier time, people were trained from the beginning. When you go to Gurukula, it was the teacher's duty to find what qualities you have. Basically, what qualities you want to develop. Because qualities we develop by training. A lot of qualities we have developed by training, right? And there are some innate qualities, some adaptive, which you adapt, but there are a lot of things innate, right? Some people are very, very fighting spirit. They go to army. They love going to army. Some people are teaching spirit, intellectual. They want to become a teacher. Some people are serving skill. They become a servant. Some people are a medical profession, so many. But nowadays, all these professions have become based on how much money you have. It's not that your capacity to learn, but it's how much you can afford. Earlier time, there was no capitalization of the education. Education was free, offered by the state to everyone equally. Doesn't matter what caste you were on. Everybody was studying together in Gurukula. It's not that you are Kshatriya, will not get it. If you are Sudra, you cannot study. Everybody can study in local schools. They don't have to go to city. Okay. Every almost up to the British, when British left, that time also it existed. Actually, the Macaulay law came, they abolished the whole education system. Otherwise, every village has a school, Gurukul, and education was free. And who was maintaining those educational institutes? The kings. King's duty was collect the taxes and give everything for free to the citizens, right? Nowadays they collect taxes, but nothing is free. Taxes after taxes, taxes after taxes, taxes after income tax, sale tax, duty tax, this tax. I think you get only 20% of what you earn because all goes in taxes. Even if you save it, you go to some shopping mall, store 20% GST, this GST, that GST. What do you get in return? Nothing. And this is not just in India. Every country, So it has been spoiled. Anyways, so coming back to the topic. So nature is very important. Therefore, Krishna is saying to Arjuna, don't give up your nature. Because otherwise you will suffer. Because you may think that, I will lose. Because Arjuna is giving reason, I will go to hell, I will suffer sins and this, that. And Krishna is saying, just perform your duty, you will get to heaven. Because if you fight and die, then also is good. Like on a border, a military person dies, everyone celebrates in a sense, become Biragati, become, what do you call, freedom fighter, they are like soldiers on die, they become immortal for the country at least. Here you can see, on the Delhi, they will have name and all that, right? So glorious. But same thing can be done by anyone. Doesn't matter whether if you have a Brahmana, you perform your prescribed duties. How do you know what is prescribed duty? You find it out. That's a discovery, journey of self-discovery. Now you have to work under someone who is expert to find your features and help you. People nowadays do it. In corporate field also, they go to the mentors, they talk to them and find out what is good for them. So all this exists. But when it comes for applying that from a spiritual point of view, people are not interested. Then if you say, oh, you want to learn Bhagavad Gita, can you go to your teacher? No, I can read myself and I will understand this. Then why did you go to your school to study physics? You could have purchased a book from a shop, sit down at your home, learn from there. That's it. Perfect. right? Then what is the point of having big institution, teachers, system now? So
Hare Krishna.
yes, okay. You can hear me, Mataji?
We are hearing. It's clear.
Okay, okay.
Now we can.
So okay, so I was saying that why people go to the big institutions, right, to learn things. They go for material benefit, but not for spiritual. No, I can learn myself. I can look at YouTube. Okay, then why don't you learn your education from YouTube, right? So it's very hypocritic, people not serious. It's simply they're not serious about these things, right? Anyways, so we are not here to criticize them. We are here to improve our life, right? Okay, 32, Madhu or Hetal Mataji, you want to read any one of you?
Anything is fine. Shall I read?
Yeah, you can read Mataji, and then Madhu will read next one.
Okay.
You can skip Sanskrit and directly go to translation purpose.
O Partha, happy are the Kshatriyas to whom such fighting opportunities come unsought, opening for them the door of the heavenly planets. Purport: as supreme teacher of the world, Lord Krishna condemns the attitude of Arjuna, who said, I do not fight any good in this fighting. It will cause perpetual habitation in hell. Such statement of Arjuna was due to the ignorance only. He wanted to become non-violent in the discharge of of a specific duty. For a Kshatriya to be on battlefield and to become non-violent is the philosophy of fool. In the Parashara Smriti, or religion code made by Parashara, the great saga and the father of Vyasdeva, it is stated
You can skip Sanskrit, Mataji. You can go English.
the Kshatriya's duty is to protect the citizen from all the kind of difficulties, and for that reason he has to apply violence in suitable cause of law and order. Therefore, he has to conquer the soldiers of the inimical king, and thus, with the religious principle, he should rule over the world. Considering all the aspects, Arjuna had no reason to refrain from the fighting. It is if he should conquer his enemies, he would enjoy the kingdom, and he could, uh, if he should die in the battle, he would be conveyed to the heavenly planet, whose doors were wide open for him. Fighting would be for his benefit in either case. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So basically, it's saying in any case, it's beneficial, right? So that's what Krishna is saying. That it's very rare to find such opportunity. Why you're giving up? Let's go to next one, Madhu, please.
Yes, yes. If, however, you do not perform your religious duty of fighting, then you will certainly incur signs of uh, neglecting your duties and thus lose your reputation as a fighter. Arjuna was famous fighter, and he attained fame by fighting many great demigods, including even Lord Shiva. After fighting and defeating Lord Shiva in the address of Hunter, Arjuna pleased the Lord and received as reward as a weapon called Pasupatastra. Everyone know that he was a great warrior. Even Dronacharya gave him dedications and awards him the special weapon by which he could kill even his teacher. So he was credited with so many military certificates from many authorities, including his adoptive father Indra and heavenly king. But if he abounded the battle, not only would he neglect his specific duty as a kshatriya, but he would lose all the fame and god good name, and thus prepare his loyal road to hell. In other words, he would go to hell not by fighting but by withdrawing from the battle. Uh,
Hare
Prabhuji,
Krishna.
you're on mute.
Sorry. Okay. So all of you can mute now, and I'll read this. Okay. Okay. People will always speak of your infamy, and for a respectable person, dishonor is worse than death. Purport. Both as a friend and philosopher to Arjuna, Lord Krishna now gives his final judgment regarding Arjuna's refusal to fight. The Lord says, Arjuna, if you leave the battlefield before the battle even begins, people will call you a coward. And if you think that the people may call you bad names, but that you will save your life by fleeing the battlefield, then my advice is that you do better die in the battlefield. For a respectable man like you, ill fame is worse than death. So you should not flee for the fear of your life. Better to die in the battle, and this will save you from the ill fame of misusing my friendship and from losing your prestige in society. So the final judgment of the Lord was for Arjuna to die in the battlefield and not withdraw. Because Madhu just read, Arjuna was very great. He fought Shiva. He had the benediction and blessings from Dronacharya. His father was Lord Indra, who is the king of heaven. And then this kind of person, and his friend is the God himself, Krishna himself, sitting on the chariot, and he's saying, I don't want to fight. You will also say, what the fool you are. You go and fight, right? You will win. Okay, this next sloka. The great generals who have highly esteemed your name and fame will think that you have left the battlefield out of fear only, and thus they will consider you insignificant. Purport. Lord Krishna continued to give his verdict to Arjuna. Do not think that the great generals like Drona, Duryodhana, Karna, and other contemporaries will think that you have left the battlefield out of compassion for your brothers and grandfather. They will think that you have left out of fear for your life, and thus their high estimation of your personality will go to hell. Isn't it? This happens. If you don't take position in your life, people will think you are a coward. They will not think you are a very nice person, because this world is not designed for being very nice. So especially in your life, you have to take the stand and take your position. Otherwise, think, oh, this person was feared, right? Same thing Krishna is telling. And then now next Krishna is saying, Arjuna, your enemies will describe you in many unkind words and scorn your ability. What could be more painful to you? So basically saying, what you're saying, talking very nice things, but people will think you're a coward, right? So Lord Krishna was astonished in the beginning of Arjuna's uncalled for plea for compassion, and he described his compassion as befitting a Narayan. Now, in many words, he proves his statement against Arjuna's so-called compassion. Right? Arjuna was talking about compassion and all, right? So now Krishna is saying, O son of Kunti, either you will be killed on battlefield and attain the heavenly planet, or you will conquer and enjoy the earthly kingdom. Therefore, get up with determination and fight. Purport. Even though there was no certainty of victory for Arjuna's side, he still had to fight. For even being killed there, he could be elevated to a heavenly planet. 38. This is last one, and then we'll end here. So Krishna is saying now, Sukham dukham same kritva labha labho jaya jayo tato yuddhaya yuddhashva nainam papa pusham apapam avashyashi. Do thou fight for the sake of fighting, without considering happiness or distress, loss and gain, victory or defeat. And by so doing, you shall never incur sin. Purport. Lord Krishna now directly says that Arjuna should fight for the sake of fighting because he desires the battle. There is no consideration of happiness or distress, profit or loss, victory or defeat in the activities of Krishna consciousness. That everything should be performed for the sake of Krishna is transcendental consciousness. So there is no reaction to material activities. He who acts for his own sense gratification, either in goodness or in passion, is subject to the reaction, good or bad. But he who has completely surrendered himself in the activities of Krishna consciousness is no longer obliged to anyone, nor to any debtor to anyone, as one is in the ordinary course of advice. It is said, this is very important for us. We will not have time to discuss today this last sloka, but we'll touch base next Saturday, this Saturday. देवर्षि भूप्तर्नृणां पित्रं न किङ्करो अन्यचरित्रणी च राजन् सर्व आत्मना यो शरणं शरण्यो gato mukundam परिहृत्य कृत्यम्. Quote, anyone who has completely surrendered on to Krishna, Mukunda, giving up all other duties, is no longer a debtor, nor is he obliged to anyone, not the demigod, nor the sages, nor the people in general, nor kingsmen, nor humanity, nor forefather. So basically, this is Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 5th chapter, 641 sloka. Basically, it's saying if you follow Krishna, then you don't have to follow anyone else, including your family. This is the verdict of the Shastras, Bhagavatam. That is indirect hint given by Krishna to Arjuna in this verse, and that the matter will be more clearly explained in following verses. Hare Krishna. So,
Prabhuji, we are missing your voice.
now you can hear me? Yeah, my mic wire is loose, so it just okay. Anybody here any question in 2 minutes? I will wrap it. No question. Morning time, ready to go.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I won't take it. I won't take much of your time. So thank you so much for joining. And Saturday you can have discussion. You can read it again in your office. Just read through those 10 slokas again and think about it. A lot of things to talk, and we are short on time. Somehow we are always short on time. Right? So that's the nature of the world. We'll end here, but thank you so much for joining. And join on Saturday. We'll have a little long class and we'll have discussion.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.